Visiting right now with the Commissioner of the Gulf South Conference, Nate Salant. And Commissioner Salant, I gotta say, where the Gulf South has gone during this transition is pretty impressive. I know a lot of the league's CEOs and athletic directors are very proud of where the league is heading now that the transition is behind you. But then again, transition is still the phase we're in. So just kind of explain to those who might not know all the details, all that's gone on and what is happening now with new schools joining the league and championships going on in different cities and so on and so forth.
You're right, Jim. A great deal has changed since the last time we were together, and really it goes back to the days when the Arkansas schools surprised us with their decision to leave the conference. We're past that. We've made a great deal of improvements and many changes since then, and it's almost like a laundry list of good things. First of all, we have the University of New Orleans in the fold. They'll be joining as a full member, completely eligible for all championships next year. Shorter University up in Rome, Georgia, and Union University up in Jackson, Tennessee have also joined. They are in our membership process. And as they move forward next year, they will be participating in all GSC schedules. There'll be a non-counter in our golf and cross-country championships and really fill out our schedule very nicely. Plus, they add a nice fit geographically, and that's something that we wanted to stay focused on, to not expand much beyond the natural boundaries of the conference. Looking back, that may have been part of the reason for the Arkansas departure. There were other reasons as well from what we're told. But the bottom line is, looking forward, we have advantages. First of all, our institutions are now much more homogeneous. A lot more medium-sized public schools. The private schools are larger, stronger, more stable, have broader-based athletic programs, and histories of great success. Union University is legendary in women's basketball. Shorter University has a broad-based athletic program offering more sports than the GSC actually currently conducts championships in, so they're a great fit. Another thing that's happened is we've changed some of our championship locations. We moved golf. We really had a great relationship with the Hot Springs Country Club out in Arkansas. They did a great job for us. Their GM, Barry Howard's a wonderful guy. He really cares about college golf. But obviously with no schools in Arkansas, Hot Springs no longer made sense as a destination. So we've moved. We're going to the Timberline Country Club, which is to the southeast of Birmingham, down in Calera. It's just off Interstate 65. Great location, centrality, a great New Hampton Inn right there for the teams to stay at. So we're really, really pleased. We think it's a great situation. We're looking very much forward to working with their head pro GM guy, Joe Cruzy, and we think that it's a great situation. Basketball, big news there. We're going to Northwest Florida State College down in Niceville, Florida. Essentially Fort Walton Beach. The teams will be housed on Okaloosa Island. We think it'll be great. Their facility's brand new. It seats 2,442 people, all chairbacks, 600 some odd are chairbacks theater style. So it's really an upgrade. It's a more realistic fit for us. It's a building we think we can fill for all of our evening and weekend sessions, and we're really excited about it. Many of our student athletes coming from different parts of the country have never been to the beach, and I know that that may sound hard to believe for folks from down in the southeast, but remember, we've got student athletes from all over the place and all over the world for that matter. So we think it'll be a real exciting opportunity. Great new venue. Brings us closer to some of the fans that haven't had easy access in the past. Like, for example, Valdosta State's fans all of a sudden no longer face a 14-hour trip up to Memphis. Now it's a few hours from their campus. We think that's going to improve things. Obviously gets us down to West Florida's neck of the woods as well. Hopefully they'll have a resurgence in basketball that coincides with the change in venue of the tournament. The other big news is baseball. Baseball is going to the Rome Braves Stadium up in Rome, Georgia. It's the single-A franchise for the Atlanta Braves. It's a state-of-the-art, terrific facility, a gigantic upgrade over USA Stadium in many ways. We miss the folks in Millington, but we also realize that given our change geographically and the fact that they did not want the tournament back for internal reasons, it just made sense for us to make that move. And this is a great facility. When our athletes walk onto that field and look up into those stands and the scoreboard and everything else that's involved, they're going to be delighted. And the best part is the Rome Braves themselves are co-sponsors of the event, along with the Visitors and Conventions Bureau of the city. So we think we've got that really set really, really nicely, and we are very excited about it. Elsewhere, new sports are coming on board. West Alabama will start men's soccer next year. We expect that women's golf is in the pipeline at North Alabama, and there's talk now of at least outdoor track and field as a potential championship as well. So we could be replacing some of what we've lost and then adding to it in a different way. The general plan is for the conference to grow to 12 schools. full member schools. We're not including our other new member, Florida Institute of Technology. When I say that, they're coming on board for 2013 in football only. They're down in Melbourne, Florida, which is a great destination. It's within striking distance of all the Orlando sites, of Jacksonville, etc. So we think that teams and fans that are playing down there are going to have a really, really nice trip and the opportunity to spend a few days in the area. The NCAA rules allow teams to go 36 hours ahead of time and come back 24 hours afterwards. So there's an opportunity for a little bit of sightseeing as well. Hopefully that will be a good thing for Florida's economy as well as for the conference. And of course it gets us into a couple of new media markets that could be very valuable. Melbourne being one, but of course Orlando being another. It's an exciting time, quite honestly, Jim. When you look at what's going on, where we've come in a short period of time, it's terrific. Getting back to the long-term plan, 12 schools is the goal. Most of them playing football. We would like a 10-member league when it comes to football. That way you have 9 games, and when all is said and done, it enables you to play 2 games against outside teams if you wish to do so, because the NCAA maximum is 11. All of the other sports will be playing full seasons against themselves. So, for example, in baseball, with 12 baseball schools, or right now 11 baseball schools, I should say, they'll have a 10-series schedule. That's 30 of the 50 permissible games right there. It makes scheduling a heck of a lot easier. You know, we always face the problem of geographics and competitive equity with some of the other schools that are in our region. So this way, we take away a lot of those issues and sort of schedule amongst ourselves. It's not what we want. We'd much rather play more in-region, non-conference contests, but the problem is we just have not been able to get them. The Florida schools are interested, but travel costs are an issue. The SIAC schools have different levels of interest, but again, you run into matching up dates. That's another problem when you only have so many available dates. So we try to work hard at it. And, you know, we move forward. We're really excited about our football deal with the Lone Star Conference. And, you know, next year, Valdosta's fans get to experience Cowboy Stadium. UNA fans got that experience this past season. So we think there's a lot of good stuff going on. That deal with the Lone Star is a multi-year deal. Our fans will see a Texas school every year and go to a Texas school every year. It also expands our TV market. So we think it makes for a lot of positives. So there's a lot of excitement around here.
Nate, just finally, talk a little bit about Delta State's football run, what it's meant to the conference to see so much success from only 5 football playing schools, seeing 3 of them make the playoffs and one of them really put a show on.
Well, Delta State did us proud. There's no 2 ways about it. We're very, very pleased with the season they had, and, you know, putting 3 teams in a 6-team field, which is what we did again this year in the NCAA tournament in Division II football, was a terrific thing. And naturally, as usually happens, our teams get matched up against each other. So West Alabama hosted UNA. UNA won that one. UNA went to Delta State. Delta State won that one. And then Delta State hosted the regional final, defeated North Greenville in an exciting game, and then unfortunately was sent up to Pittsburgh State in a decision that we still are not comfortable with, but there's nothing we can do. That's an NCAA football committee decision. You know, we're frustrated by that. But Delta State had a great run, and like you pointed out, Jim, we had 5 schools that played football in the GSC this year. 3 of them made the tournament. One of them, West Georgia, had it gotten on a roll a little earlier in the season, perhaps had one less early season loss, it might have gotten in the tournament. You know, they beat the #1 team in the country, Delta State, in the final regular season week of the season. So there's really a lot of excitement around here, you know, and with the incoming football schools, you know, Shorter playing in the schedule next year, counting as an in-region Division II counter, but not eligible for postseason play. And then, of course, with New Orleans looking at 2015 for football, 2013 for FIT, Florida Institute of Technology. We just see a lot of good things. Union University planning to at least do a real serious look at football next year. So we think that there's a lot of good, and I don't want to overlook the fact that with a limited number of soccer schools, we had teams in the women's soccer tournament, 3 of them. On the men's side, we had 1 team get in. Again, given the fact that in terms of inside the league, we were down to only a handful of members playing soccer. This was a really solid season. Cross-country, great run. You know, when we lost our #1 cross-country team, National Power Harding, but UAH, West Florida, others have stepped up and done well there as well. And of course in volleyball, our 2 stalwarts, West Florida And North Alabama got NCAA bids also. So we think we've had a very nice season given the reduction in league membership. And we're also looking at basketball. UAH was a #1 team in the country. Very proud of the fact that in a preseason exhibition game, they went down to the University of Alabama and gave that team all they could handle before finally dropping a 7-point decision. We've already had a couple of wins over Division I's. And, it's just exciting. With women's basketball, it's going to be a very, very interesting year for us. Delta State, normally a power. They're very young this year. They may be down a bit. It may open the door to a couple of the other schools moving up. We just don't know. But, there's a lot to be excited about and a lot to move forward on.
Well, Nate, thanks for joining us, and we really appreciate your time. Look forward to catching up with you again for the 2012 Basketball Championships for the conference, which this year will take place in Niceville, Florida.
All right. Thanks, Jim.